Mix 102.5, the best mix from the 90s to now. It's Big Papa in the afternoon. Estate Planning Law Center on French Road in New Hartford, 793-3622, eplawcenter.com. The man, the myth, the legend, Dave Zumpano on the line. Dave, how are you, man?
Good. Great to be here. I just love the energy. Let's go.
No, well, here's the thing, and I've been lucky enough to talk to Jen and Brianna from the Estate Planning Law Center before, and every time we talk about estate planning, one of the things that we end up talking about is the fact that it can be very intimidating when you go to start the process, and the Estate Planning Law Center makes it as easy as possible.
Yeah, there was a study once I always refer to. I think people said more people scored rather going to their own funeral than to go see a lawyer. So when you start to think about the dynamics, when you think about lawyers, they have a certain shtick, right? So it's everybody loves them, but everybody hates them, right? Everybody needs them, but in every case, there's a winner and a loser. What's nice about what we do, everybody's a winner because we get to keep you in control. It's not litigation. It's not antagonistic. It's really about using what we call more contract type law, trust, estate planning, wills, where you get to bypass or put your decisions and rules in place instead of having to rely on the default provisions that the law has. And that's the biggest thing that people say. And I always try and encourage them and say, listen, here's the key thing. When you're doing estate planning, okay, don't think of it as painful. Think of it as control. It's about staying in control because people who don't have an estate plan, they actually do. They have the government's estate plan. That's the thing. What people don't understand, by delaying, you're saying, I'm okay with giving the government's estate plan to me. And what we get to do is say, no. Let's take control back. Let's have the plan you want. Make sure what you have gets to the people you want, the way you want, when you want, with the least amount of administrative and legal delays.
No, absolutely. And there's a brand new technology and service that you guys are implementing, which we'll get into in a second. But the first step to really start the process for estate planning with the Estate Planning Law Center are your free workshops, right?
Yeah, the workshops, and let me tell you the concept of the workshop. And the free part is this. If you have a high barrier of entry, that's another obstacle for people. Now, people say, well, why do I want to go to a workshop? I just want X. I've been doing this now close to 30 years. And here's what I find out. People come in and I say, well, what do you want? And they tell me something simple. And then I start asking them a couple questions, and they go, well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Then I ask a few more questions. Well, I don't know. Well, do you want this or that? I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could do that. So what happened is a long time ago, what I realized is when people come in, they want a certain thing. They hear something on TV. They might be hearing the Britney Spears story. How do I avoid that? And then once we start to talk to them and educate them on the different things that are possible, then they say, well, I didn't know I can do that. I didn't know I can do that. So our workshops are actually designed around the top 10 questions people ask that never knew to ask. And they're the ones that, come after the first series of questions. So what we said is, listen, do a little bit of investment up front. Do a little bit of investment to learn about what you're getting into. Now, again, you don't have to, but what it does is it actually speeds up the process afterward because now you understand, wow, I have so many more things I could do here than I thought. I could protect my kids from divorce. I could protect me if I pass and my husband remarries and has some younger person, end up with all my money. You can plan for all of that. You could plan to protect each other, to protect the kids. So what we say is, look, you're alive, you're well, you're healthy. This is not a complicated process. It's a short introduction to understand what you're involved with. Then you get to decide, okay, that's cool, that's all there. For right now, I just want to do this a little bit. Or you know what? I didn't know that's all it is. I can do the whole thing now. And then you decide. A little bit of, my father always said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So those workshops are really designed to help people understand all the things they can do, and then from there decide, okay, what's right for me to do now versus what's right to do later.
And the fact is that everyone's situation is different, and that's why going to the Estate Planning Law Center is so beneficial, because you legit have been there forever. So you have been there, done that, seen this, and handled just about anything that can be thrown at you guys. And so you know the best way to handle all kinds of situations. Now, Dave, traditionally, when you're doing estate planning, normally you have to go in and you have to take the time to go in and meet with somebody face to face and go through the process that way. But there's a new way to do things that helps eliminate some of that, right?
There is, and a little bit of background. A lot of people know, they see me on TV and they get to hear me here on your show, but what people don't understand is not only am I a local lawyer, but I actually am also own a national legal organization of lawyers that do the same thing I do, and they follow our systems, they follow our model. So what I heard from all of my members, we have hundreds of law firms around the country that are in our national organization, and they've been saying, we have to find a way to get this easier to clients, to overcome that obstacle of coming into the office. And then you've got the things like Legal Depot and Legal Zoom and things like that, where people go to that, but that's not a lawyer. Those are self-help services. So within my national organization, I have exposure to experts not only across America, but also actually across the world. And so I was in a meeting once with a gentleman who shares some of the same entrepreneurial spirit that I do, who was actually founded a technology company that was sold to a small company you now know as Disney Plus. So when I met this gentleman, he had sold out to Disney Plus, and I said, well, what is it you did? He goes, well, I built all the user interface and that type technology. What does that mean?
Oh, that's all.
Yeah, right. So all the user interface and the user experience. And what I said is, hey, I got this idea. Can you help me build a product that will help these complex legal services and get them real simple so the people can use them? They're afraid to use LegalZoom. Those aren't lawyers. And he said, yes, let's start the journey. And it's been a year and a half of development, and we're excited that Utica, New York, the central New York area, is the first place in the country. It's being launched in 7 other cities in the next couple of weeks. By the end of this quarter, it'll be in 25 states, and then fully throughout America by the end of the fourth quarter. But it starts right here in central New York, and here's what it is, real simple. Look, people are busy. And they always say, how am I going to get my planning done? So this is a new platform called Guider. It will guide you. It's accessible through our website, and you go on, you click on the Guider button, and what it does is it's an experience where you interact with it, and it will help you design your will, healthcare proxy, and power of attorney. Again, the 3 essential documents. Everyone has to have them. If you're over the age of 18, you need a healthcare proxy, a power of attorney, and a will if you have any assets, right? If not, you're subject to the state's rule book, right? You're subject to what the state says. But now you can go online without being in a LegalZoom or a Legal Depot. You can be with a local lawyer, but all done technologically. You go as far as you want. But here's the beautiful thing. Anywhere in the process, if it becomes too overwhelming, you click a button and you're connected to us in the office.
Oh, that's
you're
awesome.
Able to have us help you.
That was actually Dave, that was actually one of my questions, because, yeah, I can fill out forms and this, that, and the other, but what if there are questions? Because there's so many nooks and crannies when it comes to estate planning, and you're saying if you have a question, you just click a button and all of a sudden you're chatting with somebody.
Right, so that's the beauty of this, right? So initially, when you go through it, it'll have lots of information. You can click on buttons and it gives you details. If that's not enough, you click buttons and it gives you different ways to communicate with us through email, through telephone, and other methods. And this is the thing. It's actually the next version. And this is I know I'm local. I'm just a local guy. I'm the guy you see on TV. This is not a small thing. This is the future of the practice of law. People have told me we have a national rollout in October down in Charlotte where we're launching this nationally. And right now it's right here. And what I love about this is I think about the mom, the mom who's home working, trying to take care of her kids. When does she have time to do planning? You know what? Get the kids down at night, click on the Guider button. It's a great place. Get your will, healthcare proxy, power of attorney done for you and your husband. If you're single, get it done. If you got kids that are over 18, get it done for them. Simple, easy, way more economical, right? It's legal. You're hiring us as a law firm, but because we're able to delegate so much to technology, we're able to bring those prices significantly down for those people that don't have the time or the money to commit to a full-fledged, complex planning. And so this is what it's really about, keeping the consumer front and center. They've come to expect it, right? I always say the pandemic shut the world down, but it opened up our futures because people are no longer afraid of technology. They're no longer afraid of Zoom. They're no longer afraid of opening up their computer browser. And this is it. This is why we've developed this. And I'm excited that it's launching here in central New York.
And it's called Guider. And if you want to check it out for yourself, all you have to do is go to the Estate Planning Law Center website, which is e-planning.com. eplawcenter.com. That's eplawcenter.com. When you enter it up, it literally will pop right up. You can click right on it and jump right in. It's the Estate Planning Law Center, French Road, New Hartford, 793-3622. Again, eplawcenter.com. Dave Zumpano, congratulations on this. This thing is going to be huge, and it's the next step for what you guys do, and you guys took the time to do it and do it right.
Yeah, it's about innovation for the sake of the consumer. That's what it's about, keeping the consumer always front and center.
Again, eplawcenter.com.